Hello and welcome to Yogi's Voice Bits. What is the right quote, sir? How do I estimate the right quote for a project? Of course, the voiceover genres are different, and every voiceover genres have different quotes, different budget. How do I estimate the right quote? எனக்கு எப்படி தெரியும் ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் வரும்போது how will I know the right quote, what quote I have to make to crack the voiceover job favoring me? So what I have to do for this? Well, in this episode we'll talk about that. What is the right quote for a project? You know, every project has a budget. Be open, talk to the client. First, client in the project in the budget da appdi sonna try to leverage little above that so that you crack in between. You try to negotiate or catch some vital place where you can establish your thoughtful of your price quotings. If your quote is fair enough, if your quote is right, the client might little bit extend, say around 1,000 they might extend. In case, if you wish, the amount of quote that they have told is little less. Keep that as one part. Second point is, when you feel that the client is quoting low, which means that the budget is already low, try to negotiate in a friendly way, in a positive attitude, so that you win over the business. And the business நீங்க எடுத்து பண்ணணும். அந்த வாய்ஸ் ஓவர் நீங்க பண்றதுக்கான முயற்சியை நீங்க அதில் மறந்துடாதீங்க. See, of course, if you talk high price, the client would say, sorry, we like your voice, but this is the budget, we can't do. So, எப்படி தான் பண்றது? How do I do that? How to do the exact price? So, how to rightly quote the right price? எப்படி சார் தெரியும்? How will I know? See, the market doesn't have a set standard on voice over pricing. A senior might quote little higher, a junior would quote little lower. You might quote in between this way and that way because you're a budding voice aspirant. You need job, but don't lower quote yourself and get stamped. Client இவ்வளவுதான் தர முடியும், இஷ்டம் தான் பண்ணுங்க. See, he has a choice to choose somebody else. You have a choice as well to select the client or to deselect the client. If you wish, you want to do the project is good. If you feel that this is going to give you a leverage, this is going to give you some importance, with this you can market yourself, take it up. No harm. Negotiate 500,000 this way, that way, doesn't make a big deal. Take up the job, but don't accept the lower quoted job. That's very bad. That's really very bad. In case you try to accept something which is lower than the market standard, you're gone. The client will stamp you there. The client will brand you there. This guy, this girl, this person will not be able to do a sustainable job or a consistent job because he's accepting what is the offer. Your voice, your talent, your voice is your talent. Is it not? Your voice is your talent. That should have a pricing. Every voice has a tag, a price tag. Your voice has similar one. The time and efforts that you put is your pricing. You get an e-learning project. The client would say, it's for half an hour, 1 hour. What is the cost for 15 minutes? What is the cost for half an hour, 45 minutes or 1 hour? Pro rata wise, chart yourself, segment wise, break through and give a right quote. Say for example, 2,000, 4,000, 6,000. You quote in this way. But the client would not know exactly whether the content is going to be for half an hour or 20 minutes. Say for example, 1 page. So these are all the tricky things that the client would say, just for 1 minute, just for 1 page. That's all. And you'll get disturbed or you'll get confused. For you, it's one session. For you, it's one project. For you, it's a voiceover project. The client might as well come back to you or not. You or the client both doesn't know. So it's going to be one time or multiple times, God knows. If it's going to come many times, it's your luck. Your voice is good, the client accepted, his end client liked your voice, the business keeps rotating. It keeps coming on and on. That's good. Or if you might sign a contract with them, deal within the right way, deal within the right price, and negotiate, sign a contract. That's fine because you're sure of your consistency of the work. But எதுவுமே தெரியலனா, first time if the client is coming back to you and saying that this is what the page is, this is what the content is, Either நீங்க வாய்ஸ் ஓவர் பண்ணணும், it could be an explainer, it could be a realtor, it could be a medical thing, it could be a management thing, it could be an advertisement, documentary, whatever it may be. It's a session for you. Your time, your efforts, and your quality of voice. On top of it is your seniority or the more number of projects that you have done. If you have a credentials of work on your bucket, and if the client says that yes, this person has done lots of voiceover, he will definitely not bargain with you. He will elevate you and give you a better price. That's how we sail across. Of course, even we get budget clients. Doesn't mean that we are losing it. Of course, we lose it. Sometimes it happens. Because if it's going to be a throwaway price, I am not going to take up the job because it's going to spoil my reputation. That's how I consider certain jobs, certain clients. At the same time, another door opens. He appreciates. He finds that this is the voice, this is the budget, this is what I can give you, and this voice is appreciable for a better price. Get hold of those kind of clients. Find out. There are a lot of good clients as well. I'm not here to discourage you. Please take up the job whichever you feel is right for you because you have to grow. At some point of time, நீங்க ஆரம்பிக்கணும்ல. Somewhere you will have to take the first step. You will have to climb up step 1, step 2, and then go to step 10, and then turn across and see where you have come. Idhukku, you have a span of time. So, what is the right price? Your mind should say, this is the right price. I cannot work less than this. I am a budding aspirant. Okay, right, you're a budding artist. You can't be a budding artist always. You can't be a budding artist always. You are growing. The moment you do 10 number of jobs in a year or in a month or in a week, you are an upcoming artist. You have credentials. You can say these are the voice segments. You can say these are the voice clients. You can say these are the clients I've worked with, I've voiced with. So this is how it goes on. So never feel bad about the wrong quote or maybe the miss or maybe that it's not working or something. I'm not able to judge my tone. I'm not able to judge the right place. Client is saying something, I'm saying something. It goes topsy-turvy or it gets messed up or I'm losing the job. Never mind. Even if you feel that you're losing the job, try to call the client and educate the client saying that this is efforts, this is talent, this is a brand. Your voice is your brand. And that branding is going to make money for him. So that has to be evaluated correctly and that has to give a good pricing to you. Trust me, know to mark yourself in the better rank. Do not step yourself down. There are a number of people who are trying to compensate just for the sake of entry into the domain. Of course, it will be for little time, but at the same time, you need to know where you are marking towards, where you are achieving towards, where is your goal, where am I reaching, what do I do in the long run. Suppose I earn only 1,000 rupees per voiceover. How many thousands I can earn in a month? Maybe 10, 15? Is that all? If I'm branded for a low-key voice artist, where will I go? Suppose I get a good client and I say 1,000. He would say, I'm cheap. The brand value of your voice is always high. For the quality, for the time and efforts that you nurture on and you practice well and you dedicate your time and efforts, you spend some time commuting, you read through the script, you understand, you practice, you modulate, you do all the kinds of homework and do a miraculous, magical voiceover for that client, then it has to get paid well. Is it not? That's how you have to mark yourself. Brand your voice in such a way that your tone, you are the only person for your tone. There is no mimicry or there is no duplicate on the voice. If the client is trusting your voice, you are the voice for that brand. It has to have a value. So rightly strike the price. Give a nice estimate. Do not go high, do not go low. Try to stand in between and mark yourself giving a right quote. So quote again, the estimate. I'm quoting, I'm giving a cost, the client is not coming back to me. Somewhere I miss it. Don't worry about it. Try to recall the client. Try to call the client again and ask what went wrong. Why was the job not given to you? And maybe the pricing. He would say after 1 week's time, boss, your quote was a little higher. We went through somebody else. Your client might say that your price was high. Your client might not revert to you because he might feel that your price was high. Maybe it was competitive. He might have gone to somebody else. Yaar kittiyo pe na job senjirbaru. He would not have replied to you. Never mind, don't worry, not all the clients reply to you sincerely. When they approach, you appreciate. When you approach, sometimes they don't appreciate. They say that the job is closed. You would get annoyed saying that you inquired about this, you never gave me a reply, you never reverted, but you're saying the job is closed. What was the thing which went wrong? Maybe you had that question in your mind. The price was the reason. Or the client would not have a budget. So what is the best chance for you to crack through it? So what is the chance of getting that voice over project to you? So maybe you can give a call again to the client and say that this is what my best price is. I can do this for this much. If the client is okay with that, this way, that way, if the client is flexible, he might say, okay, yes, good, this is what we were looking into. And you can do it. Ning and the project at the sale. Ning and the project at the sale. But of course, Koreva work panni kashtapadadinga. That's my humble say. Never work for low. Quote your right point. Quote your right. Justify your voice. It's a brand. அதுக்கான வேல்யூ நீங்க தான் நிர்ணயிக்கணும். It's your product. ஒரு பொருள் உங்ககிட்ட இருக்க ஒரு பொருள். You're selling that your voice. You're selling your voice to a brand. So which means that you have to mark your price. You have to tag your voice in such a price that it's consistent and buyable by the client who comes back to you. So quote the right price. Know your standards in the market. Because never quote low and go back. Come forward. Every step is a success step. Happy voicing. I'm not confusing here. I'm not giving you a long lecture. Decide your price is what my point is. It could be good, it could be bad. So whichever is fine, whichever is lucrative, because on top of it, you might spend for the studio as well. Keep the studio cost on mind and then quote your price. Suppose if the client is saying that I will pay the studio charges whatever it is, even 1,000 rupees studio cost would not be a big deal for the client. He might as well pay, but he would say that I'll pay you only 2,000 rupees. If it is lucrative and if it is optionable, please take up the job. Don't lose the job. So if the client is okay with your quote, if your estimate is right, the job is yours. Happy voicing again. Never feel bad about the wrong quote or the client not coming back to you or you're not able to give the right quote. It happens. It happens for everybody. We miss a job because of some reasons. The client would say, "Idu budget illa engala pannave mudiyadu." But we love your voice. We want to have you. Kunja negotiate pannina we can do. See, I go to a shop, I buy this shirt. The cost is 600 rupees. I go and ask him for 500 rupees. He says that this is not acceptable. He says that this is not viable. He says that this can't be offered at a discount of 100 rupees. Okay, I come between. Can you give me for 550? I come in between. Always bargain. We all know to bargain. Indian markets are always the bargain markets. So try to bargain. Don't feel bad about it. It's your bread ultimately. And don't do it for free. Just for the sake of doing it for a low quote, don't do it for free. For YouTubers, I understand because they have subscription, they have to come up in life. You can negotiate because the reach is a little different. Of course, today, YouTubers and vloggers are plenty. They too require voiceovers. Avanga kuda konja negotiable pannunga because they are not big corporates. You can work some 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, you can work with them. But not with corporates. Know your value, know your estimate. So do the right pricing, which is going to fetch you good voiceover jobs. Happy voicing. See you in yet another interesting question. Until then, keep watching Yogi's Voice Bits. It's going to be useful to you. See you then. Bye.